The mark of true change is to behave differently from even if the outside world does not reflect the change that you feel inside. So in doing so, you have physically changed, or have you? Or have you created a new version of your new personal reality? So today I'm going to attempt to move you away from the often fearful need to change to the inspired path of creating the life you so rightfully deserve, becoming a creation agent for your life. And if you find this message relevant, then click the link below now and subscribe to my free Pathfinders community, where I've got way over 35 of these live lunch and learns. And that's what I'm here to do today, is share with you, as I do every Monday at 1 o'clock, some inspiring thoughts, tips, and tools which I take from my professional pointer program. So let's climb into the story a little bit, and I'm going to talk to you about my program shortly. We accept that change is inevitable. So why do so many people fear the change? What does change actually signify, and how can you embrace and encourage it for more comfort and not more of just the same? So you want to grow into this. The answer can be found in how the words make you feel. If you think about the word change, what does it instigate inside? For a lot of people, fear. Why do I need to change? That means and sounds like hard work. What if the change doesn't work? What if it's worse than it is now? All these doubts and fears. Now, what if I use the word create? How does that work make you feel? Create, uplift, grow, move, develop. So are you trying to change the world around you? Or are you being the change that you want to see in the world? This is what we're going to uncover today. And if you're on a live lunch and learn for the first time, my name is Tim Wagner, and I work with hospitality professionals in helping them face the challenges of stress and burnout and overwhelm, and guiding them to being calm and confident leaders that they are. After 27 years in hospitality and 16 as a speaker and a coach, I've seen firsthand what burnout and quiet quitting can do to excellent teams. As I truly believe that we can all stress less and live and lead far more productive lives, so becoming more successful, more impactful, and more fulfilled at home and at work. So I've taken 16 years of personal development and coaching to create what I call my professional pointer program. And today I'm going to be covering a little bit of that. But the program starts with your breath of life. For me, that was the creation of my future, was getting out of stress state. Then we understand we need to break down who you are now in your personal development journey. Once you understand who you are, then we can go into the status of who will you become 2 years, 5 years, 10 years down the line, so that you can reverse engineer it. Once you've got this, we need to then make sure that you're aligned with your values, your goals, your dreams, that everything's connected with who you will become. Then we're talking about mindset. And this is where transforming your mindset, the piece we're talking about today, creation or change, comes from. Harmonizing your habits. How do you ingrain all of these lessons into your daily life? And ultimately in the program, it's about empowering yourself for the future, for the long-term growth. Now, I run this program as a 6-month program that I begin only twice a year, February, and now in June of 2025, I've got another cohort. So if that interests you and you're ready to move forward outside of a stress state, reach out to me. Let's have a chat. I want to share a story with you quickly to emphasize how people perceive change. Now, when I'm doing my coaching and I'm speaking with clients, a big part of it is not only about your personal development journey, but it's also understanding how other people react, because in the end, you can only influence yourself, right? But what if you can influence others through how you see them? So my example is that after the pandemic chaos, this was now in April about 21, the wife and I, we sold our home. We said, that's it. The pandemic stole our freedom. And the wife and I were after our freedom. So we sold up our beautiful home with everything that we had in it. We gave a lot away. We put some into storage and we hit the road and we traveled South Africa. Now, I embraced this change with enthusiasm and excitement. For me, this is massive, and opportunities and the unknown. I love it. I embrace it. My wife, not so much. Now, I needed to understand her position of how she sees change more from a fearful, it's unknown. What if we're doing something wrong? What if it's not going to work out? What if this happens? I don't want to do this. And all of these unknowns. Now, I had to understand and embrace that. It was a very challenging, very difficult time and a massive decision to sell a family home. Not something I even took lightly. But I needed to understand how my wife saw change. I saw myself as creating new opportunities. So be aware of those around you and how they handle change, as we are all wired differently. Change, you see, is a process that we all go through, but unlike that beautiful sunrise over the ocean there, we don't all look forward to that. It's purely a matter of perception. When you see or do things differently, you're changing your perception. So when your perception has changed, have you changed? Or are you simply looking at things differently? Now, there's a simple equation I want to share with you. It's up there on the screen. Your perception changes your mindset, shapes your mindset. Your perception shapes your mindset. Your mindset drives your behavior, and your behavior creates your reality. So if you want to change your reality, start by changing your perception. If you've been following me before, you would have gone through my program, the Future Vision Statement. Now, there's an exercise on that. There's another Lunch and Learn that I did, which you can click on the link below in my community, or YouTube is on there as well. Now, to achieve this new reality, you're going to need to undergo change. So consider, do we really change behavior, or do we perceive things differently? So then your behavior changes. Get a little bit psychological, play around there. Now, there's 4 ways that people react to change. I'm going to take you through them very quickly. Politely ask, why? When I asked my wife why she saw change differently, it's that she didn't want to deal with the pain and the unknown. Now, that's one way of looking at it. So the first person, myself, we embrace change. We want change. We encourage it. We achieve more through change. The second person, how they react, is that they realize change is inevitable as things do change, but you're not sure how it's going to impact you. As a wise man once said, the height of stupidity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So we understand that basic principle. Now, the third person is where they sit back thinking, this change thing, I don't like it so much. I tell you what, I'm going to wait for the world to change it back to the way that it was. Who here heard that after COVID? When all the pandemic mess was done and people were sort of trying to find their place in this new chaotic world, they said, I'll wait here until everything goes back. Now, the fourth person is the ones who don't want to approach change. They can't accept it. I remember when we were doing our travels that we came to a beautiful oceanfront restaurant. It was down a cliff and it was wooden decks. It was just glorious. There was just sea and waves. It was amazing. Beautiful open air restaurant. There was a waitress there. She had this mask. The mask mandates were over. But she had the mask and was sort of just hanging here, not doing anything. And politely, out of just being inquisitive, not judgmental, I asked her why she's still wearing the mask. She said to me, I don't deal with change very well. It'll take me a while to get used to not wearing one. Now, my instant thought was, how quickly did you begin wearing a mask when we were all threatened and people went into a state of fear, fight, flight, panic? Now, I didn't ask her that. I didn't worry about it. I said, that's interesting. Thank you for sharing. And I left it. That was my thought. Fear can enact an immediate, quick change in a person's life, whether you want it or not. This is what the world did. But as soon as you have a choice and you're left to your own devices, people go, I don't know so much. You'll understand this, that it's inevitable. The change is part of the process. So what I want to ask you is, the pursuit of becoming a creation agent is about embracing growth over change. Is that you? Are you forming as one of these people? What if as humans, we don't actually change? You see, we're a very unique species where we can actually create anything. We've got access to a subconscious and conscious mind where we can learn all that there is. And science has proven that everything that we ever want to know or be or do is already inside us. It exists. We just need to create it in our environment. So we need access to this. When you hear people say that they're dissatisfied, I have to change, I must change. But what if that process is actually growth, not change? After all, everything you've ever done, every thought you've ever had, every action, every emotion you've ever had has gotten you to where you are right now in life. You can't change that. That exists. It's in you. Embrace it. These are experiences learned. That if you learn from these experiences and you grow, you're not changing, you're creating. Let's give an example of this, and I'll break it down. You go to the doctor, the people that I call the drug dealers, and they give you a drug because the doctor says you got high blood pressure, and he scares you in saying if you don't sort out your blood pressure, you're going to have a heart attack and you may die, whatever the drama is. So then you go, whoa, okay, this is serious. But you're not just going to take a pill. You're going to take a lifestyle choice. So including in this is that you decide you're going to change your diet. Stop smoking, drink less, stop drinking, no processed foods, no wheats, no sugars, no alcohol. So you changed your diet and you replaced your food with something else. So you swapped it. You changed that food. You got rid of the old, which didn't serve, gone, and you brought in the new. So you created a new diet. As a result, you began to lose weight. Beautiful positive side effect of changing your diet. You then needed new wardrobe because you lost weight. So you got rid of the old clothes and you changed. Isn't that what we say? You changed your clothes. So you replaced them. You see, when you stop eating one type of food, you replace it with another. So you're creating a new body. You didn't change your body. You created it healthier, stronger, more functioning, fitter. You changed your clothes. You created a new image. Both your old food and your old clothes are gone forever. Donated, given away. You're still the same person. I have changed. Or have you created a better version, a new version? Because you still have that old you inside. It's your experience. Never lose it. Let's unpack this. Through the power of your thoughts, you created a new eating habit. You bought a new wardrobe because you created a new, thinner, stronger, fitter body. How you used to act and think are still inside of you, but you've created a new version of this. Your old clothes are gone. New clothes are in. Old food gone. New clothes in. See, our willingness to change is limited by our ability to create. Our ability to create is determined by how we think. So when you change your clothes and you change your diet, as a result, you have a healthier body. Change, that's gone. New is replaced. Change your light bulb, change your diet, change your clothes. But do we as humans actually change? Or have you created a new version, a better version? We can't change our thinking, our old way of thinking, but we can grow into a new way of thinking. You change your mindset from fixed to growth? Or do you create a new way of seeing the world, of perceiving reality? If you deleted your old mindset, then you wouldn't be who you are. You need that mindset. You're just creating a new version of how you want to see the world and you want other people to perceive you. So you're creating new habits. When you create a new future, you do it off the back of what was. So stop trying to change and create. Be blessed with who you are and what you've done and where you've come from. And now create a new positive growth, open movement forward mindset. You do not need to replace that old version. You need to create version 2.0. So how do you feel about change now? How do you feel about creation now? I love this quote I'm going to put up here by Jim Rohn. Let's make it bigger for you quickly as we round up. Philosophies that changed my life, he says, for things to change, you have to change. Don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. Don't wish for less problems, wish for more skill. Don't wish for less challenges, wish for more wisdom. This is about growing and creating that new version. So next week, we're going to bring in about habits, the 1%er. Just 1% different a day is how that adds up to creating a new version of your personal reality. So if you enjoyed this, click below, register, subscribe. I'm live on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn every Monday at 1 o'clock. Recordings on YouTube and also on my free Pathfinders community where I share a lot more information. Until the same time, same place, next week,